Hi guys, welcome back to the Football Showdown channel, and I'm here back with my final thoughts regarding the Arsenal vs Luton game. Before we go anywhere talking about my final thoughts about the game, let's talk about the most interesting part that has happened. Probably the most interesting part of the game was our starting lineup. Honestly, I think before the game started, many of us hoped that Tomiyasu would start. Many of us hoped that Partey would start. But I don't think many have realized that Reese could have started. Many didn't even realize that Emil Smith Rowe could have started. So honestly, it was a pleasant surprise to see that Arteta had made 5 changes to his Arsenal squad, unlike ever before. Normally he makes about like 1 or 2 changes when needed, but him making 5 changes was completely out of the syllabus, to be very honest. Like I honestly didn't expect. I don't think any Arsenal fan expected 5 changes to the Arsenal squad, and in spite of that, we still won comfortably. Speaking of comfortably, let's talk about the most talking point that all of us are very eager to talk about is our star boy, is our Haaland star boy, Emil Smith Rowe. Emil Smith Rowe, when he played the first two, when he started the 2 games before this specific game, I think he was having a sort of injury in him, or he was getting back into fitness, or he was just trying to find out his spot in the team. But today, it could be just Luton, but the way Emil Smith Rowe played throughout the game, at least till the point where he was subbed off, I think he showed a lot of hunger, a lot of eagerness to do something for the team. He fought for his place. He looked like he belonged to the Arsenal team, unlike some other substitutes that have come along in this game, which we will talk as the video progresses. In my opinion, I think Emil Smith Rowe needs to get the man of the match performance because he's won the second ball whenever needed. He's won the ball to create the chance for Havertz for him to lay it off to Odegaard. Smith Rowe has won many of the duels as well. Like normally, you don't expect Smith Rowe to win those many duels because his come off fitness. He may not be completely back in his physical self, but he looks to be back. He looks to be sharp. Initially, the first 5 minutes, I felt he was a little bit off in terms of wavelength with the rest of the team, especially with Odegaard, the captain. When Odegaard was on the left and Smith Rowe was making that run in from the left, he missed the wavelength between him and the captain. Where I think if he made the run outward and running inward, I think he would have still had the ball. It didn't matter in the end. He was really good, and I really appreciate for the fact how the medical team worked with him. There have been talks that he's been taken care really well. He's made sure to come into full fitness. He's made sure that he comes on with the fact that he doesn't look like he's completely rusty. I think you can see all of that. But again, let's keep it in context that it is only Luton. Second point, I think I'm finally able to understand why people were pissed off with Zinchenko as a left back when Kivior was there as a substitute as well. Today, when Zinchenko came on, it could be the rustiness. Don't get me wrong. It's been a while since he's played a game or since he has started a game. So when he came on, it felt like he was doing all right. Fair enough, right? After a long time, he's come on and is playing, or he started a game. But today, I felt him and Partey were in a competition to decide who's going to lose possession quickly or who's going to carry the ball more often as well. Like Zinchenko was carrying the ball many of the times where he could have laid it off. Partey was carrying the ball many of the times where he could have laid it off properly to the next player. Which brings me to the next point, Partey. Partey on his day, he's a great CDM for Arsenal. Don't get me wrong about that. But it takes about 2 to 3 games for him to come back into his proper form, and then he plays a game or two and then gets injured again. So we are losing about 3 to 4 games just for him to come into fitness, and then he's gone again. That is the entire reason why I want Arsenal to invest in a CDM or a player in that profile where he's not injury prone. At the same time, he won't take that much time to gel into the squad. A player like Onana might be the perfect replacement for Partey. Some are saying that we need to give time for Sambi Lokonga. We will come to that in the summer. But in my opinion, his spell at Luton has been good when he's not injured. When he's injured, I mean, his injury record has been really, really good before he came from Belgium, and suddenly he's gone to Luton and gotten one to two big injuries where he's been sidelined for a number of games. But when he started for Luton, he's always been really, really good. My next point that I really want to talk about is Reece Nelson. Now, I feel there will be a divided opinion about Reece Nelson regarding his performance, at least in my opinion, in the first half, because to be very, very honest, I too was in the phase where I thought, why is Reece even playing? He's gotten the chance to start after like 4 years. He's always been a substitute. Why is he not showing the urgency or the hunger to attack? But the point that we need to remember is that attacking is not what Reece was completely doing. In my opinion, I might be reading too much into it. Maybe he's in Haaland, so I'm trying to make up another opinion, a positive opinion or a positive run for Reece. But I feel Reece was not deployed on the right side just to attack, but also for the fact that he's really, really good doing the defensive work as well as the dirty work. If you guys been following the Premier League often, or been reading stats or keeping up with the other teams in the Premier League like me, you kind of understand that Luton attack on the left side of their team. Majority of the attack comes from the left side. Majority of the times they create chances from the left side. And who's on Luton's left side and on our right side? That was Reece. In the first half, or at least in the part where Reece was subbed off, I think Luton were calm, Luton were quiet, and majority of that part falls on Reece. Speaking on the part where I've been wrong initially in reading the game was again about Trossard. When Trossard played the first 5 to 10 minutes, I really honestly wanted to break my neck. Maybe it could be the unconscious thing where I thought, why didn't Trossard lay it off to Martinelli in the City game? Maybe that could have been hindering my view when I first initially saw Trossard. But I think Trossard had a good game. Initially, Smith Rowe lost the wavelength with Odegaard and with Trossard. But if you look at Trossard, and who's the one on the defensive side on that flank, that was Zinchenko. Zinchenko lost the ball at a very important phase in our attack, or on a very important section of our attack. And who was there to bail Zinchenko out? It was none other than Trossard. So I think we've got to credit Trossard in spite of him not having an output. Yes, he did have a bunch of moments where he could have made that crucial pass or laid off to another player like Martinelli in the City game, or in this game where he had the ball a little bit too often, where he could have laid it off to one of the players inside the box. But in spite of that, he's done really, really well in covering up Zinchenko's mistake. And let's also remember the fact that Trossard is not a very, very quick player. So that is another point that all of us need to remember in judging this game. And the last and final talking point that I really want to talk about is that it could be slightly harsh, don't get me wrong. With 5 changes that Arsenal or Arteta had made, I think it was really, really great. We really got to appreciate Arteta for making those changes. Why? Because we have a bench to look into. But the fact that we had a bench to look into, I think Arteta missed subbing off a couple of players. In my opinion, I felt Odegaard could have been subbed off for Vieira, assuming that Vieira is completely fit enough to come on and play. I felt Havertz could have been subbed off a little bit more earlier than when he was subbed off. Another player that I thought could be subbed off was Ben White, and I could be the only person who's going to say this. I think Cedric could have come on for Ben White as well. Those are my only drawbacks that I think Arteta had from this game. Everything else was crystal clear. Everything else was perfect from him in terms of sub, in terms of setting up the team, in terms of players getting rest as well. Now, speaking of subs, the one sub who I thought was not very eager to play for the badge or for the team when needed was Eddie Nketiah. I'm not being harsh, I'm not going to slander him, I'm just stating the facts. I felt when he came on, he made decent runs but was not effective with it. Or there were runs where he could have made, or he could have, like been effective in terms of like pressurizing the two centre backs that Luton were there behind. He was not able to do that, or he just didn't want to do that. We knew the Eddie Nketiah. He was the one who used to like press goalkeepers. He was the one who used to press defenders when they had the ball. Where is that Eddie Nketiah? That could have even been the issue with Arteta, because Arteta, you should trust him, you should start him a lot, you should get him a lot of game time. But I guess he's in that part of his career where he deserves, or he needs a lot more game time to develop his game, or to change his game as well as per the need. That could also be a factor why he's not really eager to come on as a sub after so long. Um, I don't know. He's in Haaland after all. I get the whole sentiment behind it, but I think we got to be real objective that in the summer, I think if an opportunity comes, or if any sale, or if any team keeps knocking our door for Eddie, I think we should take that chance. Do let me know in the comment section what you guys think about my final thoughts. If have I missed something, do you want to discuss something, let me know in the comment section as well. Uh, if you guys are new here, do keep subscribing, do keep liking all my content, and do keep commenting, because that is how we build a community. And if you guys already subscribed and have been supporting and sharing my content with your friends, family, and well wishers, thank you so much. Until then, I will see you guys tomorrow in a fresh new video really soon. So until then, good night, good morning, or good evening wherever in the world. Peace.